Right, good evening everyone. Welcome to Friday night. Friday night can only mean one thing. It means it's PRF1. And we are here for our first sprint race of the season. Of the league, in fact. So, we are at Monza. And we are here for a short qualifying session followed by 50% race. Short qualifying session followed by a 9-lap sprint race followed by the 50%. I think it's 27 laps off the top of my head. I can't remember. There we have it. So, short quali. Who's going out first? It does mean, of course, that they'll have 2 sets of mediums available for a race, although they'll probably use one of those sets, of course, in the sprint race. I doubt the second set will get used. Or the worn set from the sprint race probably won't get used in the main race. Can't see any scenario where that would happen, to be honest. And I saw Ferrari coming out, but somebody's out in front of him. Who's that? It looks like a Williams to me. Is that Frozen? No. That's another Williams. Here we go. So it is UFRL Shadow who is out first. I'm just getting the stream up quickly. Hello. Hello, Mark. Evening. Yeah, shame you can't be there, mate. It should be a good one. I'm a little unsure why we've only got 17. We had a full grid earlier on, and unfortunately Massey had to pull out. He just wasn't going to get home from work in time, so he just wasn't going to make it. But that should only leave us on 19. Not sure where the other two are. Unless they'll join at some point during qualifying or sprint race. If anybody is wondering, if you're joining sprint race, it is fine. It will just put you out in a car in the full race. I'm not 100% sure you can pick your car though, but it doesn't matter in equal performance because you can always swap the points about that they score. So. Anyway then, Shadow invalidated the outlap, obviously doesn't matter. Let's see what he can do. Reserve Shadow, but he's shown some good form since joining PRF1, so see what sort of lap he can set around Monza. Be interesting to know if we could know, but obviously we can't find out ourselves, but it would be interesting to know what wings people are running. I've heard one person say they're using 0-3. I think when I did it, I haven't touched Monza since the 106 patch, but before that I think I was running 2-4. But yeah, it's not called the Temple of Speed for nothing. Here he comes in on Shadow, heading up to the more difficult parts of the track. I hate to say that most of the names have escaped me. The one that usually escapes me is this one that we're coming up to, but this is Parabolica, although I think it has actually changed its name, so I think you'll find in real life this year it's going to be called something different. I think they've renamed it after an old driver from like the 50s or something. So Shadow starts off with a 125. That seems good to me. Big D straight away with a 20.4. Stick with Davis. There's a few across the line before. Dragoon 20.9, 25.7 from Goomba. Davis 20.7. Wow, it's already looking close, isn't it? Dre's gone in with a 20.7. Spaffy, it's one of the new guys tonight, 21.8. Have I missed anyone? I don't think so. Noodle's just starting a lap. Let's get a bit further down. This is Demon. Oh, he was just starting a lap as well. Alpha Tauri. Gazelle is on an outlap. There's an Aston Martin. I'm going to miss the Aston Martin. Where's the Ferrari? Nice UFRL Red Bull. 20.9. Puts him up into P6 for the moment. So it's going to be fast and furious. Short quality. McLaren's invalidated. Who's... this is Shadow, so he'll be heading into the pits in a way, so we're back round to the starters. Who's that McLaren? Is that Spreader? It is. Let's see. Spreader goes fastest then on 120.3, but my goodness, it's looking close at the moment. It's Demon. Oh, Demon's round and into the wall, and that's the end of qualifying for Demon. So, looks like he's going to be starting at the back. Oh, been in good form recently as well, Demon. He's going to have to make his way through during a race. Noodle has invalidated his lap. Gazelle's the only possible one that could actually start behind Demon. But as long as he just gets the time on the board, he's guaranteed that position. Doesn't look to me like he's driving flat out there at all, so... Well, no, look, it's 1:30 already, so... But even just this time being classified will gain him that place. For now, it's shooting up to P13. So, assuming then he's starting a lap. Just check on Goomba because he's a bit further around. Quarter of a second up through sector 2. Heading down to Parabolica now. Oh, he's coming into the... He would go into the pits, wouldn't he? Why did they do that? I don't need the message to say to get a new set of tyres and refuel. I do understand that. Didn't mean it literally. So Noodle then, what can he get on for his first actual time? Looking like it's going to be around about 1:24. Maybe a bit quicker actually. 23.6, so that puts him to P12. A few more coming out the pits. Who have we got coming round? Who's the Alpha Tauri? Oh, there they are. It's Gazelle. So what's Gazelle doing? Oh, he is on a hot lap. So Gazelle heads to the line. It's a 1:21.7. That puts him into P10. Who have we got coming? There's a Red Bull there. That's Darkmark. Right, let's stick with Darkmark. Let's go on board with him. We'll do a hilly hot lap. So he's come out of Parabolica, heads down the main straight, obviously flat out all the way down to the first chicane. Really heavy braking into this, and you have to catch the apex, catch just a bit of curb, take it around the outside. All look pretty neat and tidy there from Mark. Bit of curb on each entry and exit, then head round the long right hander. It's not really a corner as such, it's just flat out. Stick it to the inside just to gain those few thousandths. Into the second chicane, careful on entry and exit. The car will launch into the air. We come down to Lesmos 1. And he's just got a bit of inside curb. I think that just ruined his exit speed a bit there. Lesmos 2, all pretty good on the power nice and early. Open up DRS. Head up to the corner, which is the one I've forgotten the name of. I can't believe I've forgotten the name of the most famous corner on the track. Come on, Mark, help me out. Took a bit of curb and that's unsettled him, and round he's gone. So gets out of the way. Someone, I don't know if we could find that driver. Well, here's a Haas actually. Let's go with Davis. He's on an outlap, but in a way this would have ended the lap, so he heads down to Parabolica. Into the right. Usually you'd look to be a bit closer to the inside curb than that. Use the curb on the outside, flat out again to the line. You can see why they call it the Temple of Speed. Flat out so much. 70% of the lap, I think it is. And good evening, Gunners. Hello, my man. You good? Oh, it's alright. It's alright, I've just remembered the name of the corner that I couldn't remember the name of. It's the Scary. Oh, that would have annoyed me all the way through if I didn't come to me. Right. Okay, we'll stick with Davis. Seemed to help me complete the hilly hot lap. After the spin from Dartmark, he'd be so glad I don't know what it is. I've done probably about 8 of these hilly hot laps now, and I think about 6 of the drivers have spun. A couple of them, to be fair, were listening to me and I didn't know, so put them right off. I got told off on one of them. So Davis then is just over a tenth and a half up, coming through sector 2 as he heads through Ascari on the power. That looked pretty nice for Ascari, to be fair. Tenth and a half that he's gaining is enough to nip ahead of Frozen. Just need to find a little bit more and he could gain 1 or 2 more places. Through Parabolica and flat out to the line. Goes to the right hand side, take the path of least resistance, if you like. And 0.139 improvement does not put him ahead of Frozen, actually. So stays P7. Unless he invalidated that and I missed it. I might have missed an invalidation. There is an invalidation there from Spaffy. Dart Lord into the pits. We got anyone else, Revan? No, he's invalidated. Spreader's slightly up. Oh, that was the last lap, so he improved on the last lap. And he's not improving there, so that'll be heading back round to the pits. Who's the Ferrari? That is Red Bull. He heads up towards the end of sector 2. 3 temps up, so looking good for a couple of places, at least. Heads down to finish the lap. There's not a lot we could say. For the purposes of the race, the DRS activation is just in front. Oh, look, the controller batteries are low. I didn't even change them that long before. I literally turned the Xbox on 3/4 of an hour before and changed them before we started. We're back. I think it's because I've recharged them so many times, I don't actually get any charge left in them now. Who else we got here then? Variant Ascari. I'm not using a variant bit, just say Ascari, but thank you. Evening, Aaron. Yeah, why are you not racing tonight? I thought you had a seat tonight. You decided to do some overtime, well, fair enough. Money in the pocket, mate. Can't blame me for that. Who can we go to next? Start Mark then. Still needs to get time on the board. I potentially put him off while doing a hilly hot lap. If he was listening. So he's been able to sort through the second chicane. Look good through Lesmus 1 and good through 2 as well, so just that second chicane, but just looking at his ERS, it's not going down, so he's not setting a proper time here, so we're just going to move away, see if we can find somebody improving. Pajala, a couple of attempts up through sector 2. So he's one of 3 drivers on 21.7, so a couple of attempts, we'll see him move up to at least P11, as he finds a lot more time in sector 3. Drago's fastest, 20.053. Pajala improves by just over a tenth in the end, but still goes P11. Still on Noodle. Mark went back into the pits, which is understandable. Dre's obviously just completed his lap and gone pole. Dark Lord just starting a lap then. Let's see if we can get that McLaren up the field a little bit. Yeah, Aaron, you can't turn down the work, mate. Not if we're gonna hit these hard times we keep hearing about in the news and that. So. Oh, I'm completely off track at Lesmos as Kamarov joins, so he's the other one, so that would give us 18, which sounds right then if Aaron can't race, and Massey isn't going to make it, unfortunately, so to me Dre looks like he's doing another run. No, perhaps just building the ERS back up. He's got enough time to do another lap and build some more, but I don't know if he's got the fuel to do that. Frozen is improving. Comes through Parabolica then. Just runs a little bit wide early in the corner. And heads for the pits. Of course he does. I don't know why he's headed for the pits. He's not going to be able to get out again in time, so I don't know why he didn't take that lap. I wouldn't have moved him up any places, but it would have just made it a bit harder for others to get ahead of him. Lots of cars around there. And, right, who we got then? So Red Bull getting out of Ferrari's way, but I think that Ferrari's on an outlap. It's the other Ferrari, so it's Gumba, but they're both on outlaps. Davis. Across the line just over a tenth down. But with the amount of ERS he's got, I think he must have backed out of that lap, so let's keep an eye on him through Sector 1. I think I just got an EA friend request. That's the first time that's happened. I don't even know what to do about that. You might be in the start menu. Red Bull retires from the session then, and that is on track. He's lost that at Scary. I don't really want to come off Davis just to see a car that's binned it. We're coming up to it in a way, so we might get to see it in a way. But he's actually over there. That's an odd. I don't think I've ever seen someone bin it just before a Scary before. That's different. Perhaps he was going off to try and get out of somebody's way and hit the ball as he was going off. I don't know. I've certainly never seen somebody lose it before a Scary. As Davis then improves with 3.5 attempts. That's a P5. Nice lap from Davis. Mighty, mighty close. I do love to see this. Who's this? This is Spajala on an outlap. Hamarov on an outlap. So he's going to get across the line and get a time in. Whoever that Ferrari is has run out of fuel. Well, it must be Gumba. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, apologies. He has lost a wing, though. He must have come out of Scary sideways. Who's the McLaren? Spreader. He's finding a bit of time. Just short of 2 attempts up through Sector 2. Comes out, sends it to the right. And improves with just over 3 attempts and takes provisional pole off of Dre. Big D moves into P5. Oh, why are they always like the longest person away? Shadow. No, he's into the pits. Bit of flickering about going on my screen. This is Dark Lord. No, he's not improving. Oh, who's that? That's somebody close to doing a lap. That's Master Revan. He's improving. Could be close to pole. And it's 119.9. Revan sticks it in the 119s and takes pole position. I don't think so anybody's going to beat that. Davis not improving. Dragoon was improving, but by the looks of it, it's lost out of Parabolica. Or in Parabolica. And that then will be it. So that is the end of the short qualifying session. So, reminder, it is sprint race tonight. So we'll be going into a 9-lap sprint race Told there's going to be a 3-minute break between the qualifying and sprint race. So any drivers listening, please don't ready up. And then we'll be obviously back after that for the 50% race, the main feature race. But, just waiting at the moment for Davis to be pushed into the pits. There he is. So, well done, Master Revan takes pole by 23 thousandths of a second to second place Master Spread, 57 thousandths of a second to Dre, 78 thousandths of a second to Shadow. How close do you want it? Top 4 recovered by 3/4 of a tenth. Brilliant. Cameron with his 1 lap stuck into P5. That's pretty good going, to be fair. Big D 6, Davis 7, Darkmark 8, Frozen 9, Red Bull 10, Dragoon 11, Spaffy 12, Gazelle 13, Pajala 14, Goomba 15, Dark Lord 16, Noodle 17, and Demon, who we saw crash out early on, in 18. Just a quick scroll to the instance just in case they're needed. And there we go. So we've got a few minutes, guys, so if you just bear with me, I shall refill my coffee while we're waiting, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, guys, back with you. The countdown's starting. Okay, excellent. Right, so it should be a formation lap. You only get the one option to turn them on, so if you got it on for the race, it'd be on for the sprint race as well, which you should have. I don't know if the sky there doesn't look as good as it did in qualifying to me, but still no rain in the air, so all right at the moment. As you can see, just one light on indicates that the formation lap is turned on. It'll take a little while to actually move there, but moved it have done. So it's the two masters at the front, Revan and Spread. I'm sure that's not coincidental. There must be a reason to both master something. Oh, okay, they've managed to select softs for the sprint race, which is interesting because the last time I did a sprint race, it wouldn't let me use softs. That was for a spot. I wanted to use softs and it wouldn't let me. I have to say, well, as you can see, you've got Dre, Darkmark, Frozen, Dragoon, Pajala and Goomba on mediums. I must admit, I would have used softs. The options there. No need to keep the tyres up, of course. Let's go to position changes, ready for the start of the race. Weave around to get those tyres heated up. Do have the tables for you, but we'll take a look at those before the feature race while they're doing the formation lap rather than sprint race. Obviously, effectively, this is qualifying. Well, I didn't actually ask. I should have asked the admins, but I didn't think to. Was whether they're actually having points in the sprint races. The usual real life one is 8th for first, 7th for second, 6th for third, down to 8th gets one. But whether they're doing that or not, I'm not sure. The Red Bull spins. I don't think that's where your box was, Dre. I'm not going to lie. Where's he got? He's over there now. What's he up to? He managed to spin just before the grid slot. It's alright though. Anyway, here we go then. Oh, there's a jump start from Davis. He jumps to start. Oh, Master Rev and all that of sorts. Off the line. It's going to get absolutely swamped, surely. See all sorts going on. Dre's in all sorts of trouble. He's dropped down to 18th. I haven't got a clue what's going on for him as a couple of cars head to the escape road. Not entirely sure what's going on. It's like some people just were not ready. It's like we're calming down a bit now. Oh, Ferrari and I think it was a Tauri side by side there. Yeah, that was Red Bull and Gazelle. They've both come out of it okay, and Red Bull in P6. So, after Master Revan's awful start, he's managed to keep hold of P5, so he's not falling down too far. But obviously it's not ideal for him. He's already on the back of Shadow. But anyway, Spreader up into first then, and he's already at 1.6 up. A Big D. Big D up 4 places though from 6th to 2nd. Very, very nice indeed. Kamarov up a couple. So, whatever happens to Dre. So, let's go, I think, to Kamarov. As you can see, very close to the back of Big D. Davis, of course, spits up that penalty. I assume it's still a drive-through penalty, is it? Yeah, still a drive-through penalty for the sprint race as well. Demon and Dre into the pits on lap 1. Demon obviously started at the back. Goodness knows what happens to Dre. I I can only assume he spun it off the actual start, getting going. But, can't say that for certain. It's raining. Sector 2 yellow flag, and it's a Mercedes. It's Rapid Pajala. And this is going to cause some sort of safety car. It's a full safety car. Now, like a demon, he's already switched to the inters. So's Dre. So they obviously realised it was raining a lot quicker than I did. As Dragoon picks up a 5-second penalty. Big D is round at Parabolica. Absolute nightmare. He's dropped to 9th. He gets going ahead of his teammate. And everybody... Oh, he's just going to nip ahead of those two, I'm afraid. That will almost certainly be a penalty. Because... that is effectively an overtake under safety car. Unless the two ahead were driving so slow because it was telling them to give the places back, maybe. I don't know. But clearly, let's just double check. But I think the whole field switching to intermediates. How quick did that weather change? I said in the pit lane that it was looking a lot darker than it was in qualifying. But Spaffy has gone back to a set of softs. Oh, hang on. It's ghosting. Why is Spaffy ghosting then? Where's Spaffy? Spaffy. PRFF1 Spaffy. I think he's just in AI. He seems to be with us. Hang on, what did I say then? Yeah, no. It says he's with us, so I'm just going to send an invite just in case. He might just be an AI. Just have a quick flick through. It seems around the safety car. See if anybody else is ghosting. That is Spaffy. So Spaffy's AI thinks it's still slick weather. Yeah, slick weather. His Cameral's back into the pits. Now he's on intermediates. Why is he pitting again? Does he think it's a mistake? Oh, he had a penalty, so he's serving a penalty. No, that's Inter's going back on, isn't it? It is indeed. And now Spaffy's back into the pits. And solidified by the looks of it, so it looks like he's back with us. So after good qualifyings, Kamarov, Davis and Spaffy now down at the back. Pajala unfortunately out of the race. That's what caused this safety car. So everybody onto intermediate tyres already. That did not take long at all. What a shame nobody thought to start on him. Or knew to start on him. Might have gotten away with it. Demon up 13 places then, so from 18th up to 5th. What a sprint race he's having. Up 8 places is Dart Lord and the McLaren as well. 7 for Gazelle, 7 for Noodle. So, after disappointing qualifying, those guys really putting it right in the sprint. 6 for Red Bull as well, he's up to P4. It's incredibly quick change in weather conditions, making this sprint really quite difficult. So, I promised Greza and Master Spread that the short quali followed by sprint race is just as quick as a full qualifying. It doesn't take any longer. And I'm just looking, 40 minutes since the actual ready up for qualifying. Bear in mind we had a break as well. Okay, only 3 minutes, but we had a break as well. Sorry, no, it wasn't the ready up for qualifying because I started before the ready up, the actual stream. So 35 minutes were going and there's only 5 laps to complete now. So safety car's doing another lap, so it should come in the end of this lap. Everybody's caught up. I don't see any reason it would stay out, so nobody's had a late change to wets. No, I wouldn't have thought they would. It doesn't look wet enough for full wet tyres, so yeah, we'll get going then. So we'll just have laps 6, 7, 8 and 9 to do. And everybody probably struggle a little bit to start with. Let's hope everybody hits their braking into the first chicane. Well, both the first 2 chicanes, really. Don't know if anybody's done any wet practice for Monza. Usually nice and sunny around here, really. So see, safety car accelerates away. As the spread has to gain makes him bring this pace down. Noodle Neck picks up 5 seconds. A severe collision with Big D. Let's hope that's not damaged Big D's rear wing. Gotta keep the concentration at absolute max. So yeah, looks to me like spreader's gone. Oh, and oh no, Shadow. Well, he's gonna have to go straight into the pits. Lost it, accelerating on the cold tyres. This is Dark Mark going to the inside of Gazelle Roadkill into turn 1. And that looks like a perfect move from Mark. Nice move indeed. That puts him up to P5. And we have Red Bull pretty close to the back of Master Revenue. After that horrendous start, is back into P2. See if there's anything he could do about Spreader, but to be quite honest, if he ended up P2 after that start, I think he'd be pretty pleased. So Noodle Neck's just dropped down the order to P16. Looking at the track, there's no yellow flag. Goon and Kamarov and Goomba. Oh, Goomba! That's a big crash, and that's going to be a safety car. Well, we never like to see those things. We hope he's okay. That's a big, big crash. And doing some speed before hitting that wall. His car's already gone, unfortunately, so we can't just make sure he's okay. He's been rushed to hospital. So hope he can get back in time for the feature race. So now, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the safety car can only do 1 lap. So I think it has to come in again at the end of this lap. Noodles into the pits. I think he's probably got some damage. So, wow. Well, let's hope it's dry in the race, because 2 safety cars in a 9-lap sprint race isn't the greatest start to the evening, is it? So these things happen. I did add it in my first sprint race as well, but to be fair, that was at Jeddah. But, thing is, at Jeddah I didn't mind, because was quite happy to drive slowly behind a safety car instead of actually doing proper laps. So Noodle pitted, but he's good at, there you go, the safety car's in this lap. He's going to have to get a move on. That is because the safety car can't stay out. Has to allow 2 laps of racing. So we wind up to go again then. So where will Spreader go this time? He went sort of part the way into Parabolica last time. That looked like he's... Oh no. No, he's not gone. Now he goes. So, who's that? That looks like Demon's got a little run on a Ferrari. Davis gets himself disqualified from the session for ignoring his drive-through penalty. He's done well not to get disqualified before lap 8, to be fair. Assuming that was the same drive-through that you got for jumping the start. Anyway, so anyway, Red Bull does stay ahead of Frozen, but he's also attacking the back of Rebel. Catches a bit of curb on the second chicane there. 10 seconds with Dark Lord now. There's all sorts happening. But this is our big battle. Well, there's battles all the way through, of course there is, but it's getting nipped down a little bit. Start Marks having a look at the outside of Big D, heading up to Ascari. Surely not. No. Shadow is now out as well. He's lost it in Ascari. Four retirements and 2 safety cars in. And Mark has gotten ahead of Big D. Oh, who's that? And they're out. Who was it? Dragoon. To be quite frank, I don't know how much control he had over it, but he could easily have come back across the track then and taken a load out. So fair play. If he managed to actually control that to stop that from happening, you've got to say fair play to him. Now Big D's out. Oh my goodness, there's 6 retirements in a 9-lap sprint race. Obviously the conditions are horrendous, but definitely hope the full race is dry. Well, that's true, Davis. Yes, that is true. At least it's just a sprint race, mate. Red Bull is out. Oh, he's lost it in Ascari on the final lap. Well, this is absolutely unbelievable. Master Spread then heads for the line, and he'll take pole position. Master Revan P2, Demon 3, Darkmark 4, Dre in 5, Frozen 6, Kamarov 7, Gazelle 8, Spaffy in the NP9. I'll confirm the other 2 after that. My goodness me. Well, certainly eventful. But yeah, let's hope the race is dry. For a dry racing away around here, it's usually a really good race. So there's our order. Noodle Neck was 10 and Dark Lord was 11. Then from Red Bull down, that was the drivers out. So from 12th down, it will be Red Bull, Big D, Dragoon, Shadow, Goomba, Pajala, and Davis is the order they'll start in. That's the results. Let me just scroll through that, and then I'll quickly get to race direct. Ah! Well, Greza and Spreader, I'm sorry, but I just pressed race director and it's exited instead of going to the incidents. So I would have liked to have got the incidents for you there, but I don't know why. It's not the first time it's done that to me. It's done it quite a few times. It's so annoying. Well, the good news is it looks like the race is going to be, well, it's certainly starting dry and very sunny as well. So hopefully that's good news. Oh, finger slips on the A button. Oh no. I've done the other way before. I've never had my finger slip on the A button, but I've done the other way round and forgot to let go of it. I let go of the accelerator. Just sat there with my finger on the A button instead. The driver behind just smashed into me. It's like, oops. Alright, well. We won't go into that on the stream. Any issues, also put a ticket in. But, anyway, guys, that is the sprint race. We'll go on to the feature race in just a moment where it's going to be dry, I believe. So, hopefully a better race. And I'm looking forward to it. I reckon it's going to be a good one. But we'll see. And I will be back with you in a bit, guys. I'm going to stick you on the break screen. I haven't used it in so long. I want to make sure it still works. I'll just have to refresh Lightstream, and I'll stick you on that. But I'll be back with you shortly. See you in a bit. Okay guys, we're back and the formation lap has started. As we said, it is looking like it's going to be dry. As you can see, I brought the championship standings up on your screen, so that's the drivers. I know that one's a little bit small, so I'll do the top 10 for you. So at the moment, Master Spread leads the way on 144. Massey not with us tonight on 117. Camera, oh hang on, that's not right. Yeah, Greza's in P3 on 114. Kamarov in P4 on 73. Gumba on 70. Revan on 57. 54 for Fatal Defiance. Also not with us tonight. Demon 51. Big D 42. And Dart Lord 36 is our top 10. I'll just see. Will it let me go to put you on constructors? Please do. No, I'm going to have to refresh it again. Where are they? Just coming up straight towards Ascari. Right. So very quickly then you should see the constructors on your screen now. So McLaren leading on the way on 180, Williams 138, Ferrari 122, just 1 point ahead of Aston Martin on 121, Alfa Romeo 104 and Haas 103, Alpine 84, Red Bull 83. Wow, 3 battles where there's 1 point between them. Mercedes 79 and AlphaTauri on 35. So close battles going on there. Get you back to the game screen there, just coming through Parabolica. Still plenty of time. So there we go. Should get back to the game screen now. But we are back then. Let me just get some details up, the usual details. Have a quick look at the tyres before they start. So the top 3 starting on mediums, Dart Mark in 4 starting on softs. A few guys starting on softs, so Dart Mark, Spaffy, Gumbo starting on softs. And only Red Bull, Dragoon and Shadow, oh and Davis starting on the hard tyres. That's interesting. A few different strategies going on there. Let's go on board with Dart Mark for the start. It doesn't like to give me a great camera angle, so away we go. They all seem to react pretty well, didn't they? The AlphaTauri behind us. We've got a better angle now. We have indeed. Frozen trying to get past Dre. Kind of gets blocked off by the 2 Red Bulls. Dart Mark, just for a moment, it looked like Dart Mark was going in a bit deep, but he didn't. And he does manage to fight Demon fairly. But Demon holds that position for the moment. Bear in mind, Dart Mark on the softs. Looks like Demon has consolidated that defence, so he's actually on the back of Spreader. Master Revan has gotten into P1. Frozen and Gazelle 5 and 6. The 2 AlphaTauris off to a nice start. Dart Mark this time. The extra grip on those softs, he's managed to get the overtake done. Up into Ascari. Demon won't panic. He knows that's a different strategy. So you just look to hold on to him, particularly if he can hold up into the 1 second going into lap 3. Dre having a look at Gazelle there. Just in the lead up to Parabolica, but Gazelle holds him off as Frozen gets up into P4. How close these guys are. I hope they all hit their braking nicely. Oh, and there's a tap on Demon there. I think that was Gazelle. Just the tiniest of little taps on the left rear, but it spun Demon round. Luckily, he's managed to get it going again, but we have lost Shadow. Just saw him spin round in the background there, and that is a full safety car. Surely that could be a VSC. Don't tell me we got it on. Just double checking this, but yeah, it's on standard safety car. I was a bit spreader afterwards, but quite honestly, the yeah, I guess the new guys out there know how many commentaries I do a week, as well as racing as well. I mean, I do 8 commentaries a week. Sorry, 9 commentaries a week now, and 3 races a week myself. So I'm doing 12 races a week, effectively. And one of the things I've learned is that the best safety car setting for the best realism is definitely reduced. As Gazelle retires. Why is Gazelle retired? Oh, he's left the session. Well, anybody else's guess is as good as mine on that one. He hit the back of Big D and spun him, but I mean, he's feeling guilty, but no need to retire out because of it. And he's in with his front wing, so at worst he's got to change his front wing. I'm not sure. Unless there's some sort of other damage, I hope whatever it was, he's clipped it in a way. In a way, we've got the full safety car. We've had a few. Well, all the soft drivers are pitted, apart from Spaffy, who's decided to take the track position instead, so he's up to P6. So, I mean, Big D, Goomba, Pajala have all gone to hard tyres. Oh, and Darkmark, sorry. Have all changed to hard tyres. Now, my assumption is that that is an intent to go to the end of the race. I can't imagine it would be too difficult to take hards to the end from here. It's not a massively... Well, it's really not a high wear track, Monza, so... I would imagine the hards could probably do a whole race and then some, so... But of course, as always, that strategy... I have used that strategy so many times before myself, and I can honestly tell you, it's only ever really paid off once. But I still do it, because it will do it again. But, I'm determined it will work, but, you know, it's just a simple case of whether there's another safety car or not, basically. If there's not, it should work for them. The other thing that can happen, though, when you sacrifice that amount of track position, is the top sort of 4 or 5 can disappear down the road so much that you actually lose that pit stop time because you're stuck behind others, so it's a difficult one. As we get ready then to go racing once more, and Revan will lead us away on this one. Let's hope, fingers crossed, that so it's not gone yet. It's not gone yet. It's still warming his tyres up. It's leaving it very late, but that looks like he's gone now. Just having a look. Frozen, getting close to the McLaren. I don't think he's quite going to get side by side. And, oh, Dark Lord's out. goodness me. Where? Can't even see him. He's on the right as we look at it, somewhere over there. But, oh goodness me, I don't know what's happened there. So, this is Noodle Neck and Davis. Davis just getting past, so up to P10 now. Covering. Oh, and gets past Big D as well. So now up to P9. Big D has to defend slightly from Noodle Neck, but does that comfortably. So Davis will need to make up 2.5 seconds to the car ahead, which is Dragoon. Also on hard tyres though, as Red Bull gets ahead of Spaffy. Master Raven sets fastest lap. Is Dre going to get a tow here from Frozen to have a look at turn 1? No, not quite. And stays nicely in behind. As you can see, we've got a train of cars there, the top 5 all within a second of the car ahead. Then P6, which is our first hards driver, although he did start on hards, he hasn't pitted to them, is Red Bull. He's just over a second off. Spaffy right all over the back of him now. Spaffy still on those soft tyres he started the race on. So I see the safety car may enable Spaffy to push those tyres a little bit further than he would have been expecting. And well, maybe you could make it into a soft medium race. We'll have to see. Oh, and that's Dragoon. Dragoon's round out Viscari. Nose first into the wall. He's not out of the race. Luckily enough. It does seem when you hit a wall, if you catch it pretty square on, you lose your nose, but you survive. Whereas if you were to hit a sort of angle... Oh, that has not brought out a safety car. That is ridiculous. Well, that is absolutely ridiculous. I will definitely speak to Spreader afterwards and say about the safety. If that was on reduced, that would not bring out a safety car. At the absolute most, it would bring out a VSC, but not a full safety car. And that really is ridiculous. That Frozen's picked up a penalty, so yeah, he's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane by the looks of it. So it's cost him. So big news in this safety car already is that Spreader was straight into the pits, and he's put the hards on. Will Revan look to react to him, or will he stick it out on the mediums for now? Again, with another safety car, the possibility of a soft medium or medium soft becomes more real. Well, so frustrating because the problem for the drivers at the moment is that they've got no chance of building up any rhythm while this keeps happening. At least with a VSC you're driving, you know, it doesn't last very long. It usually lasts about half a lap or 3/4 of a lap, something like that, depending on the length of the track, and you know, it's back in. But when you've got a safety car coming out doing 2 or 3 laps, and then you get 2 laps of racing and then it's back out again, it's so frustrating for everyone. And as I say, you just can't get any sort of rhythm going at all. And when it comes to races, that's what this game's about. It's about finding your rhythm. It's where you tend to get the speed. Obviously, I'm talking about race pace there. It just breaks the concentration. You lose that sort of mindset that you get into when you're doing lap after lap, and it, yeah. Fortunately, the safety car can become a bit of a, well, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but you know, as soon as you have one, two, a third tends to follow. I hope that's not the case today, but it does become a bit infectious almost. Is it coming in this lap? It should come in. Yep, the safety car is in this lap, so at least it's been a short safety car period. And we can get going once again. This time Revan will lead us away again, but this time it's from Red Bull. Now, just looking, so Big D is back up into P3, and he's the top driver of the ones that pitted early for the hards. So Dark Mark was another one, he's in P5. And Gumma and Pajala were the other two who were in 7th and 8th, and Revan's gone early and really caught out Red Bull. Here comes Big D up the inside of Red Bull, heading into turn 1. And through he goes. Looked like there was a little touch on the back there, but through goes Big D then and takes P2. A little bit of weaving for Big D, trying to warm the tyres. Red Bull fooled about it for the second chicane, but was too far back and opted not to attempt that one, which I think was very wise. Getting to Lesmos. Noodle, what's happened to Noodle? Noodle! Oh dear. Oh, where's he off to? Oh dear. Ah, Spaffy is out. Ah, my word, and it's another full safety car. And Snoodle does get himself going again. Whether he's picked up any rear wing damage from all that reversing and hitting the barriers, I don't know. But, well, I think we can officially call this the worst race of the season already for PRF1. If I'm honest with you. But, hey, these things happen. And I know people get quick to sort of shout about and sort of blame people, but these things do happen sometimes. It's not, you know, nobody's professionals. We can't get it right all the time. But PRF1 gets it right a lot more often than other leagues. So, you know, one bad one here and there doesn't, you know, it's bound to happen, isn't it? Just a little surprising maybe that it's happening at Monza. That's the only thing. You know, if it was a track like Singapore or Monaco or... Well, no, actually, you wouldn't Monaco because you don't get safety cars, but, you know, Singapore, Jeddah, those sorts of tracks, you probably understand it a bit more. But Monza, it's a track we've all driven for years and years and years. You're never going to get any more used to the track than you already are, so, you know, but as I say, these things happen. It's, and as I said, in the last safety car period, safety cars become infectious. Once one happens, especially when it happens early in the race, I find, because I know that sounds obvious because you got more laps for it to happen again, but what I mean is when it happens early in a race and people really haven't gotten into that rhythm that I said about, it's you know, nobody can settle in, nobody finds that rhythm at all, and that's why they just seem to occur more then. But I've done enough trying to find excuses here. At the end of the day, it is down to the drivers. To get it right, to be sensible. I mean, okay, we can look back at safety car 2 and say that was absolutely ridiculous that safety car came out, so it should never have come out. So, so then, as a complete change in fortunes, then Big D now leads the race, and remember, he has pitted, and for me, with the amount of laps he's done he's done more safety car laps than he has race laps so far, so for me, those tyres go to the end. Same for Dark Marcus and Goomba and Pajala. Obviously all the other hards are going to the end, except for the ones that actually started on the hards. So Red Bull, Davis, yes, they're in P2 and P3, but they haven't pitted yet. So this is really going against them. These early stages. It's a shame, so we had a couple of new guys in tonight, and I hope they don't give up on it just because of one bad night. If they want to make sure it's not usually like this, they can check the previous races of the season on my stream, on my Twitch. All the races are on my YouTube channel as well, so home with all the races that I do. So anybody watching it wants the Friday nighters but is thinking they don't want to get involved if there's this many safety cars. If you're worried about that, just check the previous streams. It's not usually like this at all. The racing's normally top notch. So, safety car in this lap. This time then, Big D will lead us away. There was a little position change there. Red Bull nips ahead of Big D. Remember, he's done get control. He gets stuck with the AI. Sort of taking control and slowing him down. Here he goes then, Big D. The pack is really bunched up. That seems to be a move here. Dark Mark maybe. But Dave's having a look himself. And, a little bit of contact, but I think that was just a case of two cars going through there at the same time. Is quite difficult. Who's that? That's Pajala. Going around the outside of Goomba. And he's going to have the inside of the chicane. And he's got that move done. It's also Dre and Kamarov. Oh, there's an Alpine round. That is Kamarov. Get that back going again. That means Alpine down to 13th and 14th. Still a long way to go. So plenty of time for Alpine to turn that around. So, look, the top 8 drivers. I was going to say the top 8 drivers all on hard tyres, and then realised there's only one guy on mediums. Everybody else is on hard, so makes sense. Spreader picks up a penalty. Corner cut in. Let's just go. I mean, there's so many. It's hard to know who to look at because they're all so close. So, trying to guess where the overtakes might occur. So hard. But I would say right now, Spreader looks probably the most likely. Comes. Energy is open. It's going to be breaking into turn 1. They go side by side. Oh. Spreader did get a little touch from Dre, but actually I think Spreader maybe caught the curve on the inside that we couldn't see. Sort of meant he had to come off the power, and that's where Dre touched him. I don't think there's any actual blame on Dre there at all. So, hasn't really made a difference. Spreader is still after Gumba. And we got a yellow. Who's the yellow? It's an Alpine. It's Noodle Neck. Not enjoying Lesmos this evening. So it looks like that's another wing gone. Oh dear. Never mind. What you do is pick yourself up and dust yourself down and go again. Spreader finding really difficult to get past Gumba, and with not getting past Gumba, he's coming under big pressure from Dre, who's on his inside now, and it looks like Dre, well, he's got this unless Gumba comes into play. And I think he did a little bit because Dre kind of caught him, and it kind of ruined his overtake a little bit. Damn, Noodle Neck into the pits. I think Dragoon is round once more. Somehow to that first chicane. I mean, Monza, let's just say, Monza is usually a fantastic race of the calendar to look forward to, but it does have this sort of tendency with the two chicanes. There's heavy braking areas. So when the cars are together, like close together on track, there's always the chance somebody misses the brake in, or somebody brakes a little bit earlier than usual. Spreader then doing everything he can to get past Gumba. He has a look on the end. Oh, and it's taken Dre, I think, is basically his eyes have come off of the road because of the battle going on ahead. And it results in a spin into the wall. Again, he seems to catch the ball pretty straight on, which I think is why he's lost his wing, but the tyres, the wheels remain on the car. Yeah, Dirt Mark is going well. Evening, Greza. What are you doing today? You out on the sauce tonight? It is a mixed up grid, mate. We've had 3 safety cars. And 2 in the sprint race as well. So, it's been a very safety car laden night so far. As we get I think that's Noodle having another moment off track. Not enjoying Monza at all this season, Noodle. But he's soldiering on. And that's what he's got to do. Remember, top 15 pick up points in PRF1. So, he's only got to get that car to the finish line to get some points on the board. Dre pits and puts on a set of softs after his incident. And that is Frozen getting past Gumba. As we back to a 3-car battle again. That's Master Revan. Oh, hang on. Careful. I've just realised that DRS is activated for the first time in a race as well, so that's pretty cool. And I would imagine it's going to mean that Revan gets this done probably before the braking zone. And nicely done from Revan. Nicely done from the pair of them. Good overtake up to P8 now for Revan. There's only 2 places behind Spreader. Battling throughout. Kamarov do in terms of salvaging something from this race? As I think that was Noodle again. So this is start mark. Staying within the second of Davis. Certainly a genuine chance of a podium for Mark tonight. Well, I say a genuine chance of a podium. It's a chance for P2 because these Red Bull and Davis haven't pitted. They're still on the hards they started the race on. So they both have to pit. Which would move Dark Mark and Pajala into P3. He does have Spreader on the back of him now. So let's just go down. Kamarov gets past Gumba for P9. Gumba not giving up on it just yet. Now he's got Demon already all over the back of him. Gumba was part of that group of 4 drivers that all pitted on the first safety car for hard tyres to go to the end, and it's obviously as the race wears on, it's going to affect him a bit. So let's just look at Racket Demon. Nothing he can do here, but you'd imagine. Oh, and Dragoon is now out. And that's going to be a safety car. He's lost it to Lesmos too. We just cannot get going properly at all. I thought we got it this time. But yeah, he was in a wall on the right hand side. That is usually a case of you run a bit wide on the exit of Lesmos 2. And it throws you across the track. And we are in territory of everybody could potentially pit to softs. A few going to mediums, perhaps because they haven't got fresh soft tyres to move to. So it's turning into a bit of a survival of the fit. Dark Mark now leads the race. He's stayed on the hard tyres. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Right. Guys, can you hear me now? Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me now, Gunnar, but I just turned up the stream on my end and I can hear myself on the stream. Yeah, thanks, Big D. Right, okay. So, anyway, took me eye on what we're doing. Well, we'll see the winner come home. The gap's actually changed. Oh, Davis has picked up a penalty. What a shame. He was guaranteed P2. And looking at the gap closing, he might have it to win before the end. Revan's going to have a look. But ultimately, Frozen is the one who's going to get promoted. Revan goes round the outside. This is for a position. Davis will come to the inside. And it gives it to Revan. So, Master Spread wins the Monza Grand Prix. Sergeant Kamarov takes P2. Frozen promoted up to P3 ahead of Revan and Davis, but Revan does nip Davis to the line to take P4. Pajala P6, nice result from Pajala. Dartmark 7, very good race from him. Dre 8, Goomba 9, Red Bull 10, Demon 11, Big D 12, and Noodle P13. Calling these before these guys are actually finished, but Red Bull, well, I say Red Bull, he's not finished 10th because he's left the group, so he's not really there, so that should put Demon up to P10. There you go, and Noodle coming round for it. This is one man that is really not enjoyed his Monza outing. But as far as I'm concerned, fair play to him. He's taking it to the end. Well, he's trying to say. I think actually, I'm going to say really fair play to him because going by that spin there was no reason for that spin. So I actually think he's probably got quite nasty wing damage, and he still brought the car home. So I think he's probably got nasty rear wing damage. You can't see it on it in a way, it doesn't show rear wing damage, but he has, and he's actually brought the car home for a few points. Fair play to him. Would explain the spins he's had. Game gives Sergeant Kamarov the driver of the day. I'll see if I agree in a moment. I noticed Spreader leave the session pretty quickly. I'll see if I can get the guys in for an interview, but celebrate then. Spreader takes the win. Looked very unlikely at times. So again, he comes out on top. Takes full advantage of the fact that Massey and Grez aren't here. Takes maximum points. So that's the weekend's results. Let me just scroll through the race results. Fastest lap went to Dre in the end. I'll just scroll through those. Please don't advance, thank you. We'll go through the instance. See, quite a few. Nowhere near the most I've ever seen, mind, but quite a few. There you have it. Pit stops, just for the hell of it. Yeah. Okay. Well, there we have it. That's the end of the race. Can I get I can't even invite Master Spread now. Oh. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We'll leave it. We're not going to do the podium interviews today. It's been a difficult race. I think a few unhappy. I've lost some of the guys that were on the podium, so I'm going to leave it today. But yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't. But PRF1 is usually a great race every week, so it's disappointing when this sort of thing happens. But ultimately, it happens sometimes. You know, it does in any league, in every single league. So, you know, just got to learn to deal with it and not throw your toys out the pram, basically. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks to everybody that's watched live. Thanks to everybody that watches back at a later point. We really appreciate it. I appreciate it, and Grez and Spread appreciate it as well. So thank you ever so much to all of you. We'll see you next week. That's 8:30 p.m. I've done it again. Every single time I do a commentary, I look up what track's next so I know for the end of the race, and then completely forget. Go on the end of the race to where it is. It is Austria. There you go. So, and then we're back to Italy again for Imola after that. So, may have well stayed in Italy and saved the world a little bit, haven't we? But never mind. It's not far to Austria. Anyway, guys, thank you ever so much. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Enjoy your weekends, and don't get too drunk. And